Hello science fans and welcome to SHE-ensya. Today, we go back to basics and continue our discussion on ecology by focusing on the Earth's systems. In our last Back to Basics video, we discussed that ecology is the discipline that involves the study of our home, where we also concluded that the environment is everything and anything around us. For today, we will discuss ecological systems or ecosystems. An ecosystem is a geographic area where living and non-living things work together to form a bubble of life. There are two major components to an ecosystem. We have living things like plants, animals, and bacteria that we refer to as the biotic components. And we have non-living things like soil, water, air, and temperature that we refer to as the abiotic components. The living or biotic component has three categories: producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers are organisms that are capable of producing their own food, such as plants or algae. They produce their own food through a process known as photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, light energy from the sun is captured and used to convert water, carbon dioxide, and minerals into oxygen and energy-rich compounds called carbohydrates. Producers are amazing because they make sure that we have a constant source of food and energy. They are both magical and scientific creatures because they're the only ones who can create food out of sunlight.
Wow!
Now, while producers produce their own food and energy, consumers, on the other hand, consume producers or other consumers so that they can get their energy to survive. There are three kinds of consumers: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores are animals that eat only plants or producers. Their flattened teeth and extra long digestive system are specialized so that they can fully break down the complex structures of plants and fully absorb all the nutrients that they need. Carnivores, on the other hand, are consumers or animals that eat only meat. Carnivores have very sharp teeth and shorter but very acidic digestive tracts to fully break down the proteins and other nutrients found in their all-meat diet. And then we have omnivores, animals that need to eat both plants and other animals to survive. The teeth and digestive tract of omnivores are somewhere in between herbivores and carnivores. And this is so we can partially digest both plants and animal products so that we can get nutrients from both these sources. Please take note that none of these organisms choose to eat what they're supposed to eat. It's the natural design of our bodies that dictate what should be part of the items that we consume. Now, if you want to learn more about the digestive system and also our different adaptations that led us to becoming omnivores, please watch the video that will pop up here at the end of this one. And so we finally get to talk about decomposers, which are organisms like fungi and bacteria that are responsible for the breakdown of molecules present in dying producers and consumers. We might find decomposers a little icky because they're always tied with the concept of death and decomposition. But these are very important organisms because they return essential nutrients to the soil to keep it fertile and capable of supporting life. As for the non-living or abiotic parts of the ecosystem, we can divide them into two groups: components and factors. Abiotic components are non-living parts that make up the whole, that is the environment. They include the earth or soil where producers grow, the water that we drink and swim in, the air we breathe that supply and contain oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other gases, and even sunlight that provides heat and light energy that we need to survive. Abiotic factors, on the other hand, are measurable characteristics of the environment that are often unique dependent on the ecosystem. Examples of abiotic components include temperature, which measures the amount of heat energy in the environment. There's pH, that measures how acidic or basic the environment is. And then there's also salinity, which measures the amount of salt or the saltiness of water. Now these biotic and abiotic components combine together to form the whole, which is the ecosystem. We can also look at the ecosystem as a sum of two parts, the habitat and the community. A habitat is a place where an organism makes its home. It could be abiotic, such as soil or water, or biotic, such as a living tree. A community, on the other hand, would be all the plants and animals living together in one place. The different non-living or abiotic factors all over the world make it possible for different living or biotic components to live in different areas of planet Earth. And because of this, we end up having different types of ecosystems. There are two general types of ecosystems on the planet: terrestrial, which are found on land, and aquatic, which are found on water. A forest ecosystem consists of several plants, majority of which are trees, animals, and microorganisms that live in coordination with the abiotic factors of the environment. Forests help in maintaining the temperature of the planet, and they also absorb the greatest amount of carbon dioxide pollution that we create. In a grassland ecosystem, the vegetation or plants is dominated by grasses and herbs. You also have roaming herbivores that eat the grass in grasslands, and in turn, you have the hunting carnivores that consume the herbivores that they know can be found in the grasslands. Tundra ecosystems are mostly without trees and are found in cold climates or where rainfall is scarce. Tundras are covered with snow for most of the year. The Arctic or snowy mountaintops are examples of tundra ecosystems. Deserts are regions with very little rainfall and can only support plants and animals who can survive with little water. The days are very hot and the nights are very cold in deserts, and you can find them all over the world. The freshwater ecosystem is an aquatic ecosystem that includes lakes and ponds, rivers and streams, and wetlands. The waters of freshwater ecosystems have no salt content, in contrast with the marine ecosystem. The marine ecosystem, finally, includes seas and oceans. Seas and oceans have higher salt content compared to rivers, lakes, and ponds, but they also have a much greater biodiversity. So that's it for our lesson on ecosystems. Just remember, an ecosystem is any place on Earth where biotic and abiotic things work together to form a bubble of life. The biotic components of ecosystems can be classified into producers, consumers, and decomposers. The abiotic portion of the ecosystem, on the other hand, can be classified into components and factors. And the unique combination of living and non-living things make up for a huge variety of both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. I hope you were able to learn something from our short video today on ecosystems. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!